3 weeks later, I get a phone call from my counselor, social worker, required professional who's the manager and the landlord of the building where I live in Seattle, Washington on Capitol Hill. And quickly she asked, "How are you doing?" And I explained I'm working on biopsychology and quantum wave mechanics and getting ready for mechanical engineering. She slows down, says, "Well, we're also worried, all those posts with those videos." And I responded politely. I put a disclaimer at the beginning of the channel on YouTube. "Well, I'm glad that's all over," she said, and I couldn't say any more words. And she pleaded, "I just want to make sure you're okay. You're all right." And gave me another appointment weeks later. Now, part of the difficulty with learning about neuroscience and psychiatry and psychology and philosophy and engineering and mathematics and living in a place like Seattle, in a state where Washington, the country's first president, doesn't get respected and very rarely gets talked about as part of the description for this part of the United States of America. There's this false assumption. A person can know what's going on through the walls of the material in the architecture of a home called an apartment to prevent a neighbor from snooping and being a voyeur, unwittingly inquiring and interacting and having a conversation with their brain and body next door to a researcher applying to medical school who's been learning about the problem they're having for the last 10 years. And for most people, they stop and decide there's a behavior problem, there's a chemical imbalance, there's a disorder in the manual, the DSM. And normally for adults and addicts and the people with their hallucination, fascination, I don't disagree wholeheartedly. However, when there's a child involved, when there's young people who don't have a home, and when those children don't have a person who fights as hard as they do to survive in a world who has decided as a civilization they are insignificant, then the point of exhaustion and the exertion of energy for a man, a woman, a gender-neutral person can mathematically go to zero in an equation. 6 plus 3m equals 0. Temporarily. And then when the mind, the brain, solve a problem causing the dysfunction and the confusion, then psi ends the numbers and variable m. 6 plus 3m equals psi. People can claim they know how to help children and kids and young people. They can tell the police they heard some words next door and support the defunding of the department they hate. People can sit and stare at a wall and smoke some meth and get some crack from their friend and their social buddy. And have breasts and tits and big dicks, cocks full of fucking sperm. And claim they're gonna protect those loved ones, those tiny people. They're gonna keep track of the bad people. They're gonna watch and observe and hear and learn along the way. And unfortunately, these are the examples of the barriers and the limits and the restrictions in place for someone who wants to solve and not just talk about, explain, and tell. I've been friends with 2 veterans who were both suicidal. And their problems were memories, thoughts and thinking from the past and the future, and the disarray between the two now. And normally people emotionally try to give them some assistance and financially eliminate their situation, their dilemma. And people who are aware, there's a person who talks about some books and some stuff and wears some clothes with the government on the front, who needs help and lives in a place where people, they all say, are crazy, stupid and dumb, and really not very intelligent and smart. Their IQ probably makes less noise than their bass on their electronics. And anybody who has to be a part of this part of the city should understand they need to follow the rules. They need to stay within the limits of the crazy lady who says they're crazy and the man who looks and stares and drinks his booze and smokes his cigarettes. The sanctity of helping a child and young people and the benefit from the speed and the precision of the work that I've done for 10 years has been disrupted not only now, not only previously, but for almost the entire duration of my objective. Help mentor young and at-risk people who are homeless or in need of assistance with their brain and their body, who have had addictions and been abused. Now, and not only has the disruption happened for nearly 10 years, but people have stood in the way of the work being completed. From what they observe and see and watch and know and hear and listen, and experience with their ears. Supported by their friends and their peers, their lover, and the witness of the crime of the man who was singing in the hall in the middle of the day on a day off. Who comes out loud and strong and powerful and knows everyone on the block, everyone down the street. Children and kids and young people who are homeless or at risk for being in trouble not only have the bully in front of them, the drug dealer, the gangster, the thug, the perverted father, and the sick and twisted mother. They have the civilization who claims to be their savior. Preventing their health and peace and eventual love of life and the planet and the earth and the whole world. from where they've come from now.